Hello everyone, it's Wendell Harvey here from creatorwebsiteplan.com, and I want to show you how to build a web page using Dreamweaver. A lot of times I get asked, I write a lot about how to build websites and so forth, and what I discovered is that a lot of people don't like to read a lot of stuff. They just want to see how it's done and so they can move on with their lives. So I'm just going to show you how to build a web page with Dreamweaver. And it doesn't matter which version you use. You can use CS, whatever version you have. They're all going to be the same in terms of when you get to the front of it, it's going to ask you to just get a new page. So basically what you want to do is just go up to where it says File New. And don't worry about all this other stuff you see. This will confuse you if you're a beginner. Beginners just focus on File New, New Page. All this other thing, all the other stuff around it, you'll learn it as you go. But just to get you a quick start, you can come in and it's going to be set on whatever you left it last or whatever the default is when you get it. I have it set here because I wanted to just show you a left column and how you build a left column page. You can do fixed, where you have a header and a footer, something centered without a header and a footer, just a page. Let's see, elastic, top, bottom. That just means that you can actually kind of move things around um, uh, measurement wise. Like if the page is so wide, you can change the width of that page to whatever size you want it to be. And you'll learn all that as you go along. But just for the sake of today, let's just make a really quick web page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just select, I'm going to select column 2, column elastic left sidebar. So you see the sidebar here. And you can do blanks, templates, you can do all kinds of stuff here, but we're just going to do just the very basics. So let's hit create a page. And so now you're going to see an untitled, this is number 2 because I did one earlier. But what you're going to see is a header which says main content. And the way you can tell that that's a header is if you click on up here where it says split and code, just click on split and it'll show you the design and it'll also show you the code. And you can see that there's a language that goes on behind the scenes here that can be confusing if you don't know HTML coding. But this is all the stuff that tells the page what to do, and it's just a language basically. And but don't worry about that. So we're going to just focus right on the design part. So I'm going to click back on design. I'm going to come back in here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to insert an image. So I'm going to put my cursor here, and I'm going to hit the enter button a couple of times just to move it down. And then I'll put the cursor back up here under main content. And then I'm going to go and up to where it says insert right here. Click on insert. And then select image. And then I'm going to go to the desktop. And I was working with something earlier with a different project. I'm just going to grab this happy birthday card. And then it's going to ask you for alternate text. And alternate text achieves two things. It satisfies when someone comes to the site and that image is missing, it'll tell them what that image was, so that they will know. Just get the gist of what was actually happening on that page. It also helps the search engines to for search engine optimization. They actually the search engines actually like that. So the alt tags should always be filled in on every page. It just means alternate text. So I'm going to type in happy birthday, and then I'll just say card, happy birthday card. I don't need a link to it because I don't want anybody to click on it and go away from the page. I just want them to see it. So I'm going to leave that blank. And then I'm going to hit OK, and the card's going to pop in. So now what I want to do is I want to move this text. I want this text to actually start here. I want this LOREM to start here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the image. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to look for align, and then I'm going to go down to align left. See right there it says align and then left. When I click that, the text moves up because now it's telling this picture to move over so the text can slide in. But it's not up high enough, so what I'll do is I'll put a cursor here, and then I'll hit backspace twice, and that moves the text up so that it's now even. But what I'm noticing is that the text is also too close to the edge here. So let me right click on that again, and I'm going to come down to here where it says vertical space and horizontal space, and I'm going to put in, say, the number 7 to give a spacing there, and then in the horizontal I'm going to hit 7 to give it spacing there. So what happens is you see the text move as I do that. Now I want to know what it looks like if this were on the internet. So I'm going to go up to where it says preview debug in browser. So I'm going to click this, and then I'll select Firefox. I always use Firefox. You can use Explorer if you want, or Safari, but I like Firefox because it's easy to use and it renders things more correctly than Internet Explorer does sometimes. So I'll hit that. Wow, that's really loud. I'm going to get rid of that sound. And then I'm going to hit yes, and then I'll save it on the desktop. So I'll hit save, and now it's rendered. Now that page is rendered, so I can see this is what it would look like if it were on the web. My text would be here with a nice spacing around it. The card would be, to the left, and I have my web page. It's really quite that simple to build a web page in Dreamweaver. So, but let's go. I'm going to show you a couple more little things that you can do as well. Like, say for instance you wanted to add some links over here on the right. I could select this text, or just select the word the background, and go down below and see the bullet points here, and click on that, and now it just gave me a bullet point. So I don't need all the rest of this text here. So what I can do is I'll come up here, and let's see, I'll come up here and then I'll get rid of that text, and then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it in like a couple of times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 5 times is good. And then I can select the rest of this text down here and delete it. And now I have my little list. It's even, it's close together, it's not all over the place, and it's organized. But you can change this text to say something else. You can say foreground. Whatever you want that link to be. I'm going to actually turn it into a link here. So what I'll do is to turn it into a link is I'll highlight this text here, only that text, and then I'll come down to the bottom here where it says link, and then I'm going to type in my website address, which is http:// create a website plan.com. So now when I click away from this, this text is going to change blue, because now it's recognizing that there's a link there. But when I render it, if I render it this way, it's there's the link, so I know it works. And I can see down here, it lights up down here when I highlight that. It says create a website plan.com. But if I click on this, it gets rid of the page completely. If I close this, my page is gone, and I don't want the page to be gone. I just want this to pop out so the person that visits the page will stay on this page and not leave, because I'm giving a demonstration. So what I would do is I would click back. You can just click anywhere in this link and you can see the link light up again here. So then I would just click on blank, and now when I render that page and click on that link, it will pop out. So the person that's reading the information here, they'll do what they need to do. It just did a pop behind, so let me find it. They'll do what they need to do. They'll get the information they need, and they will, move on. So I'm going to close this now, and I see that my page is still here, but I haven't lost my audience because they saw what I wanted them to see. So now that's basically how you build a web page in Dreamweaver that fast. There are some other fancy things that you can do that I'll show you. Uh, in the coming weeks and days, you'll find more videos that show you how to do fancier things. Like for instance, if I wanted this gray part to extend, I could come down here and just do this and extend that down, and then get rid of these by highlighting them and then hitting the dots or the list. Um, and now it looks like this gray part could be a part of the design, but it's not. And if you want to see all of what goes on behind these pages, if you click on well, just look over to the right, you'll see CSS. If you don't see this tab, if this tab is missing over here on the right, you go down below here and you'll find a button that says CSS. Click on it and it'll open up and show you all of the attributes of everything that goes on that page. And I'll show you how to go through all these things and make changes, and just with the stuff that you need. There's stuff in there that you really don't need most of the time. So that's how you build a website or build a web page in Dreamweaver. And then the other thing is you'd also maybe want to use that H tag at the top there and make that maybe happy birthday cards. Got to learn how to spell or type. And these are important also for search engines. So when they find this big, huge text here, they know that it's a header. See how it says header here at the bottom? That's a header. And search engines love headers because it tells them what that page is all about. So that's how you build a web page in Dreamweaver. And so stay tuned. I'll be putting out more videos on how to build even further into a website and a web page with Dreamweaver in the coming future.